After discussing discourse, that is language, so often, today we come to something completely different, the visible and perhaps the invisible.
Uh, why to something completely different? As I've explained, time and again, the visible is closely connected to the sayable, or conversely, the invisible to the unsayable.
Mm. Could you explain that again, please?
I'll try. It's probably best if we go back to the study that, in this respect, stands at the beginning, at the birth of the clinic in archaeology of medical perception, or, to be more precise, in archaeology of the medical gaze. Basically, it's a study of the emergence of a specific kind of institution, that is, the clinic. As you know, I later became interested in other institutions.
The prison, for example.
Exactly. Well, to explain the birth of the clinic, or let's say the emergence of corresponding hospitals in the late 18th century, it is not enough, I argue, to refer to a history of ideas, on the one hand, or a social history on the other.
So that's where visibility comes in?
Right. What I wanted to draw attention to is a history of experience or perception. You see, it makes a huge difference whether I experience my illness with the knowledge that there are such things as hospitals, or that they don't exist, and I'm then thrown back to an encounter with one single doctor who may not have even studied at all.
Before the clinic existed, the doctor asked the patient, "What's the matter with you?" After 1800, the question is, "Where does it hurt?" That's how you describe it in your book.
Yeah, something like that. The crucial point is that the hospital does not exist in isolation. It is linked to the emergence of new scientific disciplines such as pathological anatomy, but is also tied to the spread of new instruments such as the thermometer and the microscope.
So the whole perception, the experience of illness changes.
Right. And we wouldn't be visible here either if it weren't for digital technologies, cameras, the internet, and so on. That's pretty obvious, I guess.
In other words, what is visible is again an aspect of an overarching whole, not just an individual technology or a science, but an entire institution, an institutional architecture, or, to speak with Deleuze, an assemblage.
As I write in the book, you have to consider the clinic on an overall basis as a new outline of the perceptible and the stateable in terms of the doctor's experience. And it is this overall basis that is also reflected at the level of individual experiences of the patient.
As soon as the hospital with its department exists, the doctor can content himself with asking about specific symptoms, and the patient learns to pay attention only to such symptoms.
Or, in relation to today, as soon as there are digital technologies, the way we deal with what used to be called concepts, theory, or even discourses is deeply transformed. That's exactly what you see here, or rather, that's exactly what you don't see here because we are already so deeply involved in this overall structure, I would probably have to disappear here first to make that clear.
Michel, I think you're becoming invisible. Where are you? Are you alright?
Oh, don't worry, I'll be back soon.